Hey, it's me. It's animated me. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and it's time for another episode of Completed It. Movie reviews, pop culture, celebrity guests, and all that good stuff. Oh, and my good friend over there, Sacha Lari, that's my co-host. Hey, Sach, hit the titles, brother. Welcome everybody back to Completed It. This is a new one. If I do know which way do I need to go? There you go. Hot Take Friday. I'm your host Andy Burrows, and we are here with some hot takes that people may generally not agree with. And we spoke about a few before we hit record. And trust me, I'm quite glad we did hit record because these two nearly walked out on me. As you can see at the bottom of my screen, one of my co-hosts, Neil. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm quite nervous doing this with you because you have a hot take every episode we do, and it's usually like your Monday rant, or you tell me how
Hmm.
bad Superman is, or etc., etc. Or you tell me how great Man United used to be. But yeah,
Used to be.
this is going
Used
to
to
be
be.
this is going to be fun. In the top left there, my oldest friend in the world, Sasha. How are you, brother? Welcome to Hot Take Friday.
Hey.
Brilliant. You okay? It's been a long week. Okay.
You
Hey.
see, your
Yeah.
takes have
Yes,
stunned
my
him.
takes of stunning. We were talking about it before we hit
I'm
record.
still buffering from those takes. Jeez.
It's hot take Friday. We've got to bring the heat, boys. I'm too scared to go first, so we'll let Sash give us your hot take, sir, and why.
The Phantom Menace ain't as bad as people think it is. That's my hot
I
take.
don't think that's a hot take.
Yeah, that's
That is a hot take.
I
I don't
didn't.
think. I think
That is
if
a hot
if
take.
if there was six Star Wars films, that would be a hot take.
Yeah, that's
We've
true.
got nine, and you can really that.
I'll go back and
Yeah.
rethink. Let Neil go first.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I think some people see it as maybe a hot take because it did get shit on that movie
yeah,
quite a
it
lot.
did
But
hard.
my argument to everyone is, and I think we've discussed this on a few months back, they had to tell a backstory somehow, and people
Yeah.
just didn't
Yeah,
like the way they done it. It's like, well,
Hmm.
this was never going to be a quote unquote air quotes here Star Wars movie, but it got you one of the best. It got you Darth Maul for fuck's sake, which is,
yeah.
in my opinion, one of the greatest
The
Star Wars
best
characters.
lightsaber battle
Yeah,
ever
got you one of
on
the best
film.
lightsaber battles
Yeah, hands
ever made
down.
on
I mean,
film.
you know what? Just thinking about it as you said it, right? I have to say, it absolutely is a Star Wars film because if
Yeah.
you really think about it, if you think of A New Hope, right?
Mm.
Now, I am a diehard Star Wars fan. Obviously, it's changed now, but I have my Empire Strikes Back poster, right? I had to change it because the sunlight is making the autographs fade. So, yeah. But if you think about it, A New Hope is actually quite boring. If you just take your love and emotion away from it, right?
Look at
We've got
Sash's face, bro.
we've got the fantastic climax, right?
Oh
We've got the
no.
fantastic climax. We have that amazing opening.
Mm.
After R2D2 and C3PO are jettisoned from that ship, the
Yeah.
movie is fairly boring until like it's pretty its moments are pretty
Oh,
boring.
where's he
Yes,
gone?
it's
Look,
actually
Sasha's
ship,
gone. He's turned
right?
off his
So think
camera in
about all this, right?
disgust.
Okay, so we have after they've been jettisoned, right? It's
Yeah.
everything with Luke is boring until
Oh no.
everything with Luke is boring until he meets Obi-Wan.
What?
Because he's a farm boy, and then we see him, and he's picking out droids. It's he's boring. His life is boring. He's a
That's the
farm
point,
boy.
though. That's character development,
I
man.
know it's character development, but character development can sometimes be boring, right? That
Anyway,
doesn't mean it's not essential,
moving along.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it's not essential, but it is pretty fucking boring, right?
Anyway.
And I thought
My
my hot
okay,
take
my
was
my
gonna.
big thing with Phantom Menace though that people seem to like go to whenever they want to shit on it. All right,
Mhm.
here's the thing. Let me get the elephant out the room. The
Yes.
script was bad. The acting was terrible in places. All right. These are things we know. But when people attack the CGI, I'm just like, okay, well, let me educate you. There were more models in that movie than the whole Star Wars trilogy combined. In fact, that was one of the last films to use practical effects.
Mhm.
So everything was more or less CGI aided rather
Mhm.
than, you know what I mean? Rather than just full
Yeah,
CG.
it was more in line with, say, like
Yeah.
Jurassic Park
Yeah,
than
yeah, kind
like,
of thing.
yeah.
So when people are like, "Oh, the CG shit," I'm like, "No, because it still holds the fuck up today." You know,
Mhm.
especially the pod race.
Yeah.
I saw a breakdown video on how they did the pod race, and it actually blew my mind. I'm like,
Mm.
serious. Like, there are more practical elements in that pod race than I actually thought there would be.
Mhm.
But like
I
I
think,
feel I feel even to this
mhm,
day with the sequels out and
yeah,
all the new Disney stuff, everyone likes to take a little stump on old George's prequels, and I'm like, I'm not there for it, man.
neither
If
am
this was,
I.
No,
yeah, I'm
fucking hell.
not
I
there
saw
for
Attack of
it.
the Clones about 7, 8 times at the cinema.
Mm.
So did I, but
Yeah.
that one is the worst one
Yeah, that's worse
out
than
of
the
those
Phantom
ones.
Menace. And I saw
But
it probably the most, and it's worse than Phantom Menace.
yeah, yeah. You know
I
what
think
is
That's
you know what it
boring.
is.
hilarious
The
though?
only
Now, if
thing
you
I
want to
will
talk about
say,
boring, talk about the
the
Attack of the
only thing
Clones.
I will say, right, is firstly, yeah, like I don't think any of the prequels are bad. I just think, you know what? You were given such a high bar with the original trilogy
Yeah,
that there was nothing that was going to come out that was going to be as good as that. That bar was set 1977 to 1983. The bar was set too high, right?
yeah. No, agreed.
It's literally like it's like, you get Olympics, right? And you're like, somebody set this world record in like 1972 and nobody beats that world record until like 1997. You're like, chill out.
A
Doesn't
part of
really
me
go back.
wishes though, a part of me
Mhm.
wishes though that Robert Zemeckis did direct it because he was the
Yeah.
first person offered, and he was like, "No, you should do it, George." Everyone was like,
Mhm.
"George should do it," but I think in doing so, I really do wish Lawrence Kasdan had come back to do the script
Yeah. His
because
whole thing when he said
do
he
you
didn't have
know?
enough time, that's
Yeah, he didn't have enough
crazy.
time. That
There'd
Lucas
always
was
be
going to
time for
start
Star
shoot.
Wars, bro.
Nah, but he
No,
was going
he
to give
didn't.
him
They
three
were
weeks.
set to be filming in like,
Yeah,
I think it was like less than a month, and he was
yeah.
like, I don't have
Yeah.
enough time to
He's
work on
like,
this.
I need more time to do the script. If you can delay it, then sure. And
Mhm.
that I think was the biggest mistake. If you'd had Caston back, he would have whooped that screenplay into shape because
Okay.
this guy wrote, I don't know whether you know this, Burrows, but Lawrence Kasdan is the co-writer because Lucas wrote the story,
Hmm.
but he wrote Empire and Jedi
Hmm.
and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're getting him back to write these ones,
It's gonna be good.
obviously, you know what I mean, it's gonna be good. But
Yeah.
he had to jettison because of other, other reasons
Other,
as well.
yeah.
And yeah, it, yeah, he came back to the series for The Force Awakens,
Okay.
and then he saw what they were doing Last Jedi. I was like,
And
nope.
dipped.
Fucking hell,
He was
yeah.
like,
Anyone
nope.
could see what they're doing with the Last
Yeah,
Jedi,
he
and
was
they'd be
like,
like,
nope.
"Fuck this, I'm out of it."
Yeah.
Okay, so Phantom. So
That was the first chime, man, because it was
Mhm.
like it was
I
like,
think we
oh,
all
Lawrence
thought that
Kasdan's
about the
going.
Last Jedi, bro. I think we all got up and went, "Nope,
Mhm.
fuck this."
Yeah,
You know what's crazy?
was that?
So I absolutely dislike The Last Jedi,
Yeah.
We can all agree.
but my dislike lowers when I watch the making of it.
Oh, really?
It goes back up as soon as I see the film. But if I just and I always have I love
I
watching the
actually
making
haven't
of
seen the
movies.
making of it.
Yeah,
The making
every
of it is long. It's
the
about an
Mark
hour.
Hamill interview as well does it for
Yeah.
me when
But
he
the
says
Mark
like
Hamill
what he would have
interviews, and
done.
when
Yeah.
you see it and you see actually what I look at it like, it's like the Martha thing in BVS, right? It's
Oh God.
the idea isn't bad, it's the execution is not great.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Everything
that's
in that
really what it
movie,
is. The
everything in the
execution.
Batman Superman movie is terrible.
Okay,
Okay,
moving along.
Right.
so Sasha's gone for Phantom Menace. Is his hot take number one.
Mhm.
Neil, sir, enlighten me. What is your hot take and why?
So this
Oh,
is
oh no,
all right. How can I do
oh,
this? All right.
oh no,
So
I'm gonna hate.
I'm gonna preface this by saying that, in my personal opinion, Batman is the greatest superhero ever created.
Well, maybe I should have done my hot take first.
Right? I'm gonna preface this by that, but I will also say that despite that, the Dark Knight trilogy is a not great Batman trilogy.
I can see why you'd say that from a comic book
Yeah,
fan's
from
point
a
of view.
comic book point of
Yeah,
view, it's not.
But
And
is
yeah,
it?
I can agree with that.
even removing from a comic
And
book,
I love the Dark
yeah.
Knight trilogy
So while
because
we're on
I
this
can agree
subject,
with you.
then is it worth me saying my hot take? Because this will kind of
No, you gotta wait.
we can we can like because I can just sit here and go, yeah, I agree, Dark
Mhm.
Knight. But then I can when they get to my hot take, it's going to be like, well, yeah, this is why I agree because I,
No, because I think you're gonna disagree. You'll disagree. Well, you won't fully agree with what I'm gonna
The
say.
thread here, guys, just so that you know, the full thread for this whole podcast at the moment is
Hmm.
Liam fucking Neeson.
What?
explain.
He was in the Phantom Menace, and
Yeah.
he doesn't like Batman trilogy.
Oh God.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Oh, okay. Well, Liam
Right.
Neeson's
Liam
a hot take,
Neeson.
Well,
yeah.
see, here's the thing, right? So here's
Change
why I say
Obi-Wan
that,
and Batman.
right? Because this issue is not just a Batman issue. Logan has the same issue. So it's established in the films, right? Batman Begins is brilliant. It's amazing. There's no that you don't change anything in Batman Begins.
Best Batman film ever made.
But when we get to the Dark Knight, right? Here's where the problems start. Andy, if you would be so kind as to tell me what event makes Bruce Wayne decide to be Batman?
What film are we talking about? Are we
No,
talking comic
any
books?
film, storyline, comics, whatever,
I,
right? What event makes him the like, I need to be Batman?
there isn't really an event, I wouldn't say. He's walking
What happens
through.
to his parents?
They die, which we get
Right.
told 1,000 times. The pearls
Yes.
come off down
But
the
So
that's the
alleyway.
point. That's the
so
point.
that's the point,
That's
right?
the
Yeah,
point.
His parents are murdered. He decides no one should
yeah.
ever
He wants to
suffer
become a
this.
vigilante, though. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily want to become Batman.
Well, he's like he decides no one should ever go through what I just went through. So I'm
Yeah.
training myself to become a man who can prevent that from happening. Cool.
Yes, I agree.
Right. Now, in The Dark Knight,
I know where he's going with this.
Batman, Bruce Wayne, is ready to retire. This is 1 year into his crusade, right? 1 year. What, so I don't know if it's one calendar year, but it's a roughly 12 months that he's been running around as Batman. And he decides for Rachel Dawes, this girl who essentially has him in the friend zone, he is ready to hang up the cape.
There's some guys that are just like pussy whip, man. Serious.
Yeah. Hi, John Noakes.
Listen,
Jonathan
to
Noakes isn't
quote
here
Some
Eddie
today.
guys.
Murphy, to quote Eddie Murphy, I don't care if there's a red cape with an S hanging out the pussy. No pussy is that good that you could watch your parents be
Oh,
murdered in
welcome to
front of
Completed
you
It on a Friday, folks.
and decide that you are going to be a vigilante for the full sole purpose of making sure no one ever goes through that again. And then
I don't know, mate. If Halle Berry walked
vagina
in and
that you're
said, "Can
not
you quit your
getting.
job?" I
Remember
think
this
I'd.
vagina that you're not getting. He's not getting her. The most he gets is a kiss on the cheek at the end of Batman Begins, and yet he's like, "I'm ready to hang it up for you. It's just for you. I'm ready to hang it up."
Women
And
make you
she's
do.
like, "But you're my friend, though."
Women make you do crazy things, bro.
And then,
Oh, he's not done.
like, that right there is too much. It was too much for me. It was too much for me.
Okay, that's a hot take. No, well, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm now scared to say mine.
Go
Um,
on.
my first hot take Friday
Mm-hmm.
is Batman
Mm-hmm.
is the most overrated and non-superhero of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Not even shouldn't even be in the Justice League because he's not a superhero. He's rich. That's it. He's the comic books are okay. I don't mind the comic books. The original movie I really enjoyed when I was a kid growing up. It was Batman. It was cool. But for me, shouldn't be ever compared to Superman. Ever. And don't give me the crap about Batman versus Superman, that movie. We're not talking about the ending of that. That was terrible. Should never be compared to the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Superman. He's just a cool dude with a belt who's rich. never shouldn't be included in the superhero chat, which he always is. And I've watched loads of stuff on YouTube when they rank their top 5 superheroes of all time, and Batman is like number one. And I just like I haven't got much hair left, but I want to pull it out. No, yeah, for me, I'm sorry, Neil. I know you're gonna hate me, and you might not ever want to podcast with us again or hang out. But for me, Batman. It's just like the same argument with me when I speak to wrestling fans. I'm like, Ric Flair's probably the most overrated wrestler of all time. Biggest joke ever. Anyway, that's
Here's
another
the
hot take.
difference with that. With Ric Flair, you can say, all right, he's overrated. You can look at all of his matches. You can look at all of
They're all the same. They're
his
all
move
boring.
set,
Yeah,
his
boring.
matches, and say, you
Batman,
know
no.
what?
Batman. Just got
I'm not with that.
let me just
Here's the
let me fling
problem
this up
when
here and swing across here
here's
and
the
I
problem when
drive
you
a
say
cool
that.
car and that's
Nah,
about
because
it,
here's your
dude.
problem. Here's my problem with that,
This
right?
is I'm sorry, bro.
No. Here's my problem with that, right? So you
Okay.
say that Batman is overrated,
Very. Not
right?
just overrated, very overrated.
Very overrated. Okay, you say Batman is very overrated. You say Batman is very overrated because essentially he has no superpowers. He's just a regular man.
Well,
He has a superpower. He's
he's
rich.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We
Yeah.
know.
Okay. So that he
That is it, though,
essentially.
Sash.
So, but that's
A
the
good
thing. You
superpower.
say that, right?
He
Okay. Here's
buys
the
a
I'd
lot.
love
problem.
to have that
Yeah.
Here's
superpower.
the problem with that.
I think we all
If
would.
that is the take, Iron Man is no longer a superhero. Green Arrow isn't a superhero. Huntress isn't a superhero.
But Iron Man made
Right?
sure that he could
No,
fly.
no,
His
no,
tech was not.
no,
You kind of
no, no.
Batman was
That's a
like
poor excuse because
Batman's
here's
tech was
no,
like Audi. Iron Man's just like Waitrose.
nope. Here's the this and here's why that's a poor take. If we let's just take the Iron Man movie, the Iron Man mythos, and the Iron Man movie as we know it, right? He winds up in a
Shoot
cave.
rockets out of his hand.
He winds up in a cave, and they like, listen here, you're gonna make us this weapon, or we're going to kill you, right? That's it. He decides to make a different weapon and has to use said weapon to escape. If you dropped Bruce Wayne as a grown man who's done the training, if you drop him in that same cave, he's out of there in a couple of hours.
Well, I don't
As
know. What is he
soon as
gonna do?
nighttime
He could
comes,
probably just pay them
nope,
off.
nope. As soon as nighttime comes, he is out of there in a few
Yeah,
hours.
get a
Why?
skipping rope and just swing across the fucking thing like he always
Because here's
does.
the thing: you take away Tony Stark's money. He is still a genius, but that's all he is. He is a genius, right? You take away Bruce Wayne's money, he's still a friggin' ninja. He's still one of the most highly intelligent detectives, scientists, right?
Then be a detective. Don't claim to be a superhero. Be Clark Kent. Be a.
And
Go
here's
and
the
work for.
thing,
Go
no,
and work
and
at a
the thing you must
newspaper
remember
or.
is this,
You know,
and the thing you must remember is this, right? Is the simple fact that Batman has no actual extra powers. He has no superpowers. He is just he is just a man who is who's got money and has resources. That's all he is. And yet,
yeah, but so's Richard Branson. But
and
he doesn't
yet
fly.
he has been able to best the entire Justice League. He didn't, in fact, he didn't best the Justice League,
He shouldn't
including the
even
boy
be in the.
Superman.
He shouldn't
He
even
didn't
be
best
in.
them. All he did was make plans on how to best them. Other people used those plans, and most of the Justice League were done for. They were bye,
Yeah, but
right?
and who's the main character that to come in to save the day for the Justice League? Big Blue.
No, he was laying on a stretcher with a big hole in his
Look at
chest,
the Justice
being
League
like,
movie.
"Batman, save me!"
Justice League
Right?
movie. The man. They were all getting their ass kicked until Superman turned up.
Yeah, because it made it
They
made
had no.
it
They had to
made a
have to
point.
because they were like, Jesus, we got this guy over here with his Dolce
Well, I
Gabbana belt,
mean,
just flying fucking flying stars
yeah,
around. He ain't doing shit.
look, let's look at it like this, right? The point of the movie is that Batman finished BVS without a scratch, and Superman had
Oh,
a bigger
that
hole in his
movie.
chest.
Oh, that movie.
I'm
That
just
movie.
saying. I'm just saying, right?
Okay. Okay.
One of them had a big
Okay.
hole in his chest
What?
and had to have a whole state funeral. The other one was like, "Let me just buy a farm. I'm good, innit?" Right? So let me just buy the farm. We can't have the farm back. The site. I'll buy the bank.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
So
that.
let's call a spade a
All
spade
right.
here.
Well, we can agree to disagree.
We
But for
can. We
my
can.
hot take and hot take Friday, my first ever
Hmm.
one on this show,
Hmm.
Batman is very, very overrated.
Fair
That
enough.
might not be as bad as my second
Believe.
hot take, which I think you two are going to. Sash, you can unmute yourself now and come out of the phantom zone. What is your second hot take, my friend, and why?
Second hot take.
Yeah, you told me loads earlier, so I know you've got them.
I can't even remember the second one, man.
Oh my God. Do I need to? You were talking about how you don't get Doctor Who.
That's not really a hot take, though. I mean, I
What do you
saw an episode
know
when I
how
was a
popular
kid.
that fucking program is? And
Yeah, is it though? I
I've
mean, like,
never, ever, ever, ever got Doctor Who. It looks like it was done on
Look,
like a two
I
pound
mean,
fifty
I
look,
budget.
watched it.
listen, the
I watched it.
Kardashians are super popular too. That don't mean I've ever watched the episode.
I mean, I
Yeah,
saw it once. I saw it once when I was a kid, and I
Kim got
don't
treated
really
badly in
remember it. I
season two.
just remember it just looking like medieval looking, and I don't know what he does. He's a
Mhm.
doctor.
What does he do?
I don't know, man.
He
Something to do
runs
with the
around.
telephone
I think
box, like
he
those
runs
old,
around
like
the
those.
time. He runs around time.
In a
He's
phone box?
basically like I think he's basically like your man from Quantum Leap.
Oh, what a
Oh,
program that
right.
was.
So it's like a
Oh,
quantum
dude.
leap
I
thing.
hated when they rebooted
But
that.
I think he's like it's like Quantum Leap, but he can go anywhere in the past or the future and
Love Quantum Leap, bro.
Yeah.
doesn't
The
like
original
he
Quantum
doesn't
Leap.
turn into somebody else. It as in like
When they
if
rebooted Quantum
if he
Leap.
goes into the past, he doesn't suddenly become like, JFK. Like
Hmm.
he is the Doctor Who no matter where he is.
Right.
I've never got it. I loved Quantum Leap, apart from then they fucking
Yeah.
when they rebooted it. Oh,
I'm
dude, the original
with you.
Quantum
I've
Leap.
never watched Doctor Who, so
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it could be. I mean, some people might be able to mention in the comics. I know my mate Dave, who watches this, when he grew up, he was fucking Doctor Who obsessed. It seems to be like a part of a. You know, when you mention certain things in British culture, the
yeah.
Beatles, these the Queen, and
Hmm.
everyone will say growing up Doctor Who, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
never got it. Like even when I was growing up, like people knew of Superman, Batman,
Mm.
all these kind of things
Yeah.
growing up. Doctor Who for me, just yeah, nah.
The most I knew about Doctor Who was it was one of the last shows to be on TV before Match of the Day. So
Yeah,
sometimes I might
you
have
caught
caught
the
like
end of
a
it.
more
Yeah,
caught the
and now
tail
they've
end of
changed
it.
it. Now it's on before Casualty. I don't know. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what's.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
I've
nah,
never.
that wasn't meant for me.
No. Okay. Cool. Sash, that's your hot take number two. Neil, what is your last hot take for Hot Take Friday, my friend?
Ah,
Oh no, he's fucking sighed again. Oh god. Oh no.
Logan
Oh, we might agree.
is a
Can't wait.
terrible X-Men movie.
You are leading me into my hot takes here. I see what you're doing.
I've said it before, I'll say it again, right? If it was a movie devoid of any connection to the X-Men franchise, then I can understand everyone's love and fanfare and belief in its
What's
brilliance, right?
hang on,
I'm
wait,
not
which film is
saying
this?
Logan,
Logan.
Oh,
I'm not
Logan.
saying,
try listening to
Well,
your own
yeah,
podcast.
I'm not saying that James Mangold made a bad movie because he didn't, but I'm just saying
he made
that
an alright movie.
if you
It
look
was
at that
alright.
movie, if you look at it from a comic book standpoint, if you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you know what? I've I've read the Old Man Logan comic book." If you look at it like that, then it's not it's not the best because, Old Man Logan, there were so many things that they couldn't do in that movie that kind of made Old Man Logan such a great tale, right? So that's one thing. If you look at it just from a point of view of X-Men movies, they're saying that all the X-Men are dead. They're dead because of Professor X, but we don't ever see it. We just that's something that you just that's done off screen. I'm like, how many X-Men movies did you make? You made two Days of Future Past movies, and you're saying that that is Logan was the time when you were like, we're not gonna show stuff. We're gonna say it happened in the past and leave it there. Also, you're gonna say that when you have Mr. Sinister available to you, when you have a Weapon X program available to you, when you have Omega Red, Cyber, Sabretooth available to you, some random doctor and a clone of Wolverine, that's the best villains you can come up with? Like that is what you could that's right there. No emotional connection to there's no emotional connection. The bad guy, I have no emotional connection to it being a clone of Wolverine. There's no emotional connection to it. It's not like, oh, it's Sabretooth, and you're like, oh my gosh, the history that these guys have had for hundreds of years, that means something. It's not Mr. Sinister, a famed or infamous X-Men villain. It's a random doctor that right now I can't name and a clone of Wolverine. And I get it. You wanted to have a clone of Wolverine because, it's like the only thing that he always feared being that berserker monster. And here is that his worst fear realized. And I'm like, no, that's you do that in the film before you do Logan.
So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this movie, but for multiple reasons.
Hmm.
But before I go into it,
Hmm.
um, I remember reading about it. I just brought up a few articles
Hmm.
just now. Um,
Loves an article. This
when Marigold and Hugh Jackman were talking about this, they were
Yeah.
originally this was a standalone movie. It wasn't part of the X-Men continuity or even the films that followed. It was just supposed to be a standalone tale, not connected to anything. And
Hmm.
obviously that got little bit rebutted with Wolverine and Deadpool
Hmm.
because they're like, well, that's a separate timeline.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people associate it as part of the X-Men franchise, the main core X-Men franchise,
Hmm.
because it was like the next one to come out, and then
Yeah.
the franchise kind of died a death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
With New Mutants
afterward.
was the next film, and that was it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this was, in conception, this wasn't supposed to be linked to any of it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Even
another,
so, you don't even to
yeah.
even I can accept that. I will not like
Yeah.
disregard that.
My big
I was
problem
like,
with it, my
mhm,
biggest problem with the movie going in was that they would use Old Man Logan, like
mhm,
if we were getting Old Man Logan in the hype up to it. You
yep,
know what I mean? And I was like, but it looks nothing like Old Man Logan. Like, what the
mhm,
fuck are you guys doing? There's no Hawkeye. There's no Hulk in this. There's
mhm.
no Hulk, Hulk
No, there's no
boys.
Red Skull,
There's
no
no,
dead,
there's none of that. And like, do you know what I mean? It just annoyed me. But then obviously I was like, let me just watch the movie for what the movie is. All right. So
mhm,
I go in, and to be honest, the first hour I kind of dug it.
mhm,
I kind of dug the first hour. But then the second half was, for me, just logic and common sense and bad writing kicked in my opinion. You've got this guy that's a bounty hunter that hunts and tracks mutants, right? That's what he does
mhm.
for a living, right? He's like the Mandalorian, all
Yeah,
right? This guy is catching mutants for a bounty. That's what he does, right? He knows he's going up against the Wolverine, right? And
mhm,
he's got like a whole load of people with him that he's hired as muscle for hire.
mhm,
You telling me these guys knowing full well they're going up against the Wolverine with
mhm.
his adamantium claws or with his claws or whatnot, that they ain't gonna do the research. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna do the research. Where's that adamantium armor? You know what I mean? Where is it? Where is it? Because that shit exists in it. That shit exists. Why
Mhm.
don't they go up against him with adamantium armor? I know it's an R-rated movie and you got to show some slice and dice, but you telling me all these bounty hunters, all these damn trained SAS looking motherfuckers are fucking idiots and incompetent at their jobs? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I don't care. I don't care how skillful the kid is. I don't care how cool Hugh Jackman looks in the
Mhm.
damn movie. These are supposed to be the best of the best of the best that catch mutants any time of the week. And they're telling me they can't catch a fucking Wolverine, or at
A
least give
old
him.
man Wolverine, no healing
Yeah,
doctor, and
yeah. It made no. It just okay. That I found unbelievable. I'm like, okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. And then you know, okay, there's the whole Professor X thing. I didn't mind it not being shown. But I do think they should have shown something. You know what I mean?
They
Like
should
they
have
should
shown
have
something.
shown like maybe flashbacks of him like dreaming like he's got blood on his hands and shit to
Hmm.
hint at that stuff. But I don't think they should have shown the whole event kind of thing. I think
Yeah, just exactly what you said. Just the
just the
bodies.
bodies or
And
like yeah,
you know what would have been more impactful is
mm,
if we see Wolverine having nightmares, and all the nightmares are the same nightmares, a reoccurring nightmare of
yeah. Well, he's
X-Men
covered
dead,
in blood
and
and shit,
his
and we don't
hands
know
are
whose
covered
blood.
in
Yeah,
blood, and then the realization hits you when you through a conversation that
yeah.
actually the reason he's covered in blood
It's because
is
it's there, bro.
it's their blood. He was trying to save them. He didn't kill anybody.
Yeah,
And then you're like, oh, Professor X did it. Then I can be like, oh
yeah,
wow,
yeah, yeah.
that's impactful.
So
Not just
yeah,
tell
and
me.
you just made that whole movie better just there. But I mean, um, and then my other big problem with it was, like fair enough, you kill Xavier, cool again.
That's not
Um,
cool. The way that they
yeah,
killed him is not cool.
yeah, it's just another Tuesday for him. But then you give us Superman free. You give us Superman free. And not only do you give us Superman free, look, they go they go fucking nuts on the Super Soldier program, right?
Hmm.
And they're trying to replicate, Wolverine basically.
Hmm.
And being so you're telling me you've got one of these things. Why isn't there like an army of them? You know? But I guess it's convenient just to have the one, right? Like whatever, in it. Like, cool. And then yeah, it was just fucking bad. And the thing that really gets me is the healing factor thing. I get they want to make him more vulnerable, etc. But having that adamantium be the poison that kills him, get the fuck out of there with that shit, man. Just doesn't make sense, man. Just really doesn't.
Hundreds of years
Yeah,
he's alive.
But
yeah,
I think you guys have made my hot take, my last one, quite
No,
interesting.
because
yeah,
that hot take is
yeah,
still crazy.
yeah. But furthermore, like I like
Uh-oh.
James Marigold, I do, but he's 2 for 2 with me. It's this and Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones 5. That's 2 for 2, man. Like,
Don't get me started on the Crystal Skull. That movie was not bad until the spaceship turned up. Anyway, my hot take. Oh my
Hmm.
God, this is yep. I'm falling on again from the looks already. These boys know what's coming. My last hot take for Hot Take Friday, and we haven't got too long to go into this because I do need to get on with my life.
Hmm.
X-Men is
Hmm.
the biggest pile of shit I have ever watched in my entire fucking life. Animated, movies, everything just bores me to absolute death. Everything they do. From the original movies to the cartoon that was on Disney Plus, that everyone's Andy, you've got to watch this. It's fantastic. It's better than the Justice League cartoon. It's not. It's not even close. Everything about these characters in X-Men, whether it's Cyclops, Wolverine, Xavier, Storm, fucking etc. etc. Just like a poor man's DC. They so want to be DC sometimes, Marvel. And X-Men for me, my hot take on this Hot Take Friday is goddamn awful. I feel like
That's the craziest hot take I've ever heard in my life.
ever.
yeah,
Ever.
I think,
Ever.
what are you smoking,
I've heard
dude?
people say, look at this. I've had to
The fuck
listen.
are you smoking?
Look at this. I had to listen to an Arsenal fan
Yeah.
get read the fact that Chelsea, as a football club, are the first club in, I think it's in football in
To
history,
win it all.
to win every single club competition available to them. They are the
Hmm.
only club to do that. And
Yeah.
then, as soon as that list was finished being read, I heard an Arsenal fan say,
Well, we were
"But
invincible.
they're still not bigger than Arsenal, right?" And I'm like, they've got two Champions Leagues. You have none. They've got Europa League. You have none. They've won competitions that you haven't ever qualified for. But that's the big club. And what you just said about X-Men is the absolute worst take I've ever heard in my life. That's the craziest one. Craziest. Because what you're saying effectively, right, is that every story ever produced in an X-Men comic. And you're like, oh, it's the poor. You said it's the poor man's DC. As
Yeah, I
it,
think
what,
they
it's
want
the
to
poor
be.
man's Justice League. Is that what you're saying? It's the
Yeah,
poor
they
man's Justice
kind of.
League.
They try and I just
Now
they just
you
want
say
me
it's the
to.
poor man's Justice League,
Yeah,
but I must point out to you that firstly, if you had to compare the Justice League to anybody, it's obviously the Avengers, despite the fact that actually
and the Justice League would kick their ass.
The only Marvel comic that is directly influenced by DC is the Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
Because of the conversation, I know there was a conversation between the editor of Timely Comics, or the owner of Timely Comics, which became Marvel Comics. He
Yeah,
was really good friends with the owner of,
that's how Marvel versus DC comics come around as well.
yeah, he was the owner
Yeah,
of he was really good friends with the guy who ran DC.
yeah.
And DC was like, oh, we've got this comic, the Justice League, and it's great, and yada yada. He said everything about that. That guy went to Stan Lee and said, listen, I need a team. Hook me up. And Stan Lee was like, cool, I'll make a team. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to do what DC did. I'm going to make a family. They're going to be a family unit. There's only going to be four of them. There ain't going to be like six, seven, whoever. There's going to be
If it ever
four.
come to a fight, though, the Justice League would whoop the Avengers' ass.
Listen,
Just
listen,
because they've
listen.
got.
Don't
Anyway,
make
but
me.
that.
I'm going to upset you now because of the simple fact that Harry Potter could kill Superman.
No, he
It
couldn't.
has always been established.
No. I
One of
can't
his
wait for my friend Ed to be in the comments. He's coming for
listen,
you,
his
Neil. Ed's
big
coming for you,
weakness
bro.
is magic. It's been established. I've read enough Superman comics to
Oh,
know
no,
he is
no,
weak
no.
to magic. Harry Potter will shove his wand up Superman's ass and he would turn him into a freaking candy floss stick.
Ah,
And he will be
shit, man.
shove it out there like
All right.
Expelliarmus. And then
Okay.
Superman will be wearing nappies for the rest of his days.
My
Let's
friend Ed,
not get into it.
when my friend Ed
It's
watches
true.
this
It's true. It's
episode,
true though. I
boys,
mean,
all right,
like,
all I'll say to you, when
if
my guy
your
Ed, wa-
guy gets beaten up by Hermione, I mean,
all right,
come
he's
on.
Listen,
not, he's not.
Hermione would deal with him differently.
No, no,
When
no, no.
Hermione's done, Superman is a purse.
This is gone a whole different
I mean,
direction,
I
boys.
mean, you know what? You know
This
what?
has gone a
Superman could
whole
get beaten
different
by
direction.
David Blaine, right?
Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God, I don't know why we're friends. I
And
don't know.
Bobby Davro. Oh shit! And Bobby Davro.
Paul Daniels.
Paul Daniels.
And Paul Daniels. Oh God! Not the cards.
You're like this. Not a lot. How the hell have Paul Daniels? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, my hot take
But
X-Men
yeah,
have
your
it's
hot take on the
always,
X-Men is
always,
crazy.
always bored me to death. The movies have
Okay,
bored me
I
to
get it
death.
if you say it's bored you and you're not a
I
feeling
just
it,
don't get
but
them.
to say that it is the worst,
It
that
is
is
out of
terrible.
all the what's going on in all the universes now in the MCU
Mhm.
as soon as I see that X-Men are involved in anything, I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm not even watching it. Deadpool and
Okay,
Wolverine
well, here's
was
what I'll say
only
to you
funny
right now.
because of Deadpool.
But here's what I'll say to you, right? Here's what I'll say to you. Arguably, the most famous, biggest all-star championship edition comic involving Superman is probably the death of Superman, right?
It's dark. I think it's the second highest grossing comic of all time.
Right,
I
right.
think. I think it's dropped down
Second
to
highest
second.
grossing comic, but that's like the championship story.
Yeah. Well, the death and return of Superman. If
The
you get
Death and
them,
Return. Okay,
yeah,
we call it. We'll ship them as one, right? The
yeah,
Death and Return of Superman, right? And that was a monumental event.
yes.
Monumental event.
Mm.
Operation Zero Tolerance spell.
Oh my fucking god.
And that was just a throwaway story that they just threw out there, right?
That was
Age of
not better.
Apocalypse. Age of
No,
Apocalypse is better,
no,
right?
it's not.
Deadly Genesis is
That's
better,
like saying
right?
Scunthorpe are better than Man City.
No.
Every team is better than Man City.
Yeah.
Every team is
Not
better
yours, sir.
than every team, right?
No, well,
Listen,
that's my hot take, gentlemen. This is what
yes.
we do on a Friday. We have hot takes, and I think I've
Mhm.
had probably the two biggest ones today. You
Yeah.
know, Batman and X-Men being dead. They just don't do it. Don't get me wrong. Look, I watched the Batman. I prefer the Batman comics to the movies
Yes, which I can
because
understand.
I'm more of a comic book fan anyway. But I
Yeah.
prefer. the Batman movies for me don't do it. The X-Men movies just I'm like looking at my watch. I'm like, is anything going to happen? Something's got to happen here, please. Nope.
Mm.
And then I watched the original trilogy, and then I watched Logan, and then I watched Deadpool versus Wolverine, and then I'm like,
Man, it sounds like you gave like the X-Men more of your time than fucking Ethan Hunt on Mission Impossible, bro.
He
don't
did.
get that. That's next week.
That's
That's next week's hot take.
that's that's
That's
that's
next
that's
week.
that's
Next
that's
week's
not
hot take.
cool.
That's
I
next
think
week's
I
hot
think you
take.
need to I think you need to watch Ghost Protocol right now, bro.
No, dude, you keep trying and you tell me every day to watch this pile of shit.
You check it
No,
out.
that is
Which one did you
fucking
get up to?
Two.
four or yeah, start of three.
The
For me, I was like,
start of
fuck.
three.
I was like,
You
fuck
didn't
this shit.
finish
I'm
it.
turning off. No, it's terrible, bro. It's awful.
What the
So
hell,
bad,
bro?
man.
With
Hey,
Phillips,
So
what? So
bad.
you just watched the start with Seymour Hoffman?
Half an hour in, I was like, fuck this. This is boring. It's the same old shit, really.
Oh my gosh,
My
man!
hot takes are my hot takes, guys.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh!
they are hot.
Neil's
Oh
like,
my
Neil's
gosh!
like, I'm needing oven gloves on a Friday.
Wow!
Boys, we've given our hot takes. It's been good.
Yes.
I've been roasted literally for the last half an hour, but yeah, I can take it. It's all right. I've got broad shoulders. My guys will
Cool.
come. My guys will be there for me in the comments. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for you, Neil. I know one motherfucker's coming for you. Ed, do your worst, my friend.
Cool.
Do your worst. Boys, it's been great though. I've enjoyed Hot Take Friday. Coming up next week, we are going to review the Fantastic Four movie, boys. I am really, we are
I
not
can't
going to
wait for
say
you
any
guys.
more.
I don't know how many hours you guys have left until you see it. All I'm saying
Yeah.
is,
Hot take Friday, and then off to see Fantastic Four.
mm,
Can't wait to do that. It's going to be. Neil, you've got me into the comics recently. I'm
mm,
reading the Fantastic Four comics.
yep,
We are back with obviously my Marvelous Monday. We are up to Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I
that's
believe
correct.
we're up to that. So that is coming out. And then next Monday, we sit down with WWE legend and Hall of Famer, and now announced last weekend that the Dudley Boys are having one more match with the Hardy
Hmm.
Boys at Bound for Glory. Devon Dudley is joining us for a chat on Complete It. So, and we'll be back with another Hot Take Friday where these two boys can just tell me I don't know fucking anything about anything in the world, and I can get absolutely roasted. And hopefully Jonathan Noakes' girlfriend will let him join as well. He can hopefully join with us next Friday. But if anyone wants to check out the show, as always, go onto YouTube, type in the Completed It podcast is where you can find us. Go on to X at Completed It Pod. But till next time, everybody, I've been absolutely destroyed today, but stay safe.
Feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of daily life? Struggling with anxiety, stress, depression, phobias, fears, or just trying to get yourself back again? Discover the transformative power of focused solution hypnotherapy and counseling. Through guided hypnotherapy, relaxation trance allows your subconscious mind to access your inner resources and strengths you didn't know you had. Book your free consultation today and let's start your journey together. For more information, please email Sharon at scm-therapy.me